What are some cool tangential things that happened from being a gold medalist?
Man, yeah, the ESPYs was dope. It was just a cool experience, you know, to be a part of kind of the Hollywood life, which I'd never experienced, of course. There was the red carpet and all the stars were there, and Samuel L. Jackson was hosting, and the event was really cool, and you got to go to a cool after party too. And I remember at the after party, it's just so surreal. You know, everyone's just kind of mingling. It's packed. Everybody from the ESPYs was there. We were at they booked out some club or something in Hollywood. And I'm talking to a couple people, and it's tight, you know? And I hear some conversation going on behind me. And so I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. So I turn around, and it's Samuel L. Jackson, Mike Wilbon, and Mike Tyson. And I just kind of naturally just go into the conversation with them. And I don't remember what we were talking about. It was some sport thing or something, but it was just so weird because it was like Mike Tyson was like right here. You know what I mean? It's like Mike Tyson got the face tattoo and everything. And then Wilbon's bringing his like super knowledge, you know, and then Samuel Jackson's cracking jokes and we're just rapping like we all knew each other. You know what I mean? And I had a couple of those experiences where I remember once, after the Olympics, Oprah did a massive show. And so she brought back all of the Olympians after Beijing. So they flew us out to Chicago, and we got to go on Oprah. And that was gnarly, interacting with her and talking to her and also interacting with the other Olympians at that time, all the NBA guys. That's where I got to hang out with Kobe quite a bit. Became fairly close with Darren Williams, who was playing for the Jazz at the time, and I was living in Salt Lake, and eventually, you know, kind of became friends over his house. We'd have dinner. We'd go play golf. I remember me and Darren and Kyle Korver and his little brother would go play golf. Me and Darren and Kyle Korver and Tony Finau and his little brother we'd go play golf in Utah. And that was fun to go hang out with those guys. And at Beijing, where we trained, the U.S. basketball team also trained. And so let's say we would train from like 9 to 11. The NBA guys would come in right after us. They'd tear down our nets, set up the basketball courts, and then they would train from 11 to 1 or whatever. And so as we were finishing practice, the NBA guys would be coming in and getting ready for practice. And so you'd have like this 10, 15-minute period where you would just rap with the guys. And they would just talk, and they'd say, hey, we saw your guys' game. And you'd say, hey, I saw you guys play too. And like, it looks like you guys are playing good. And one of the days I sat next to Kobe, and I knew that he spent a large part of his childhood in Italy. And I spent 7 years in Italy, and so I started rapping with him in Italian a little bit because I knew he speak Italian, and I speak Italian as well, and so it was kind of cool to have something in common, and yeah, it was cool getting to know those guys a little bit.